Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching this out there on the World Wide Web. This is Jeremy Geelan for Syscon TV. We're here at 9th Cloud Expo, Silicon Valley. We're up to day 3 now. Bhavik Vyas is our next guest, Aspera. I don't think I've ever spoken with you before at a Cloud Expo, Bhavik.
So, nice to meet you.
Let's make good that oversight. And let's also, if people are wondering, Aspera, I know you live on asperasoft.com.
That's correct.
What is it you guys do?
So we are a software company. We specialize in big data WAN optimization.
Ah, big data.
We get big stuff in and out of the cloud for mission critical applications, delivery, high performance computing type of...
Now that immediately begs the question. So big data getting bigger by the moment. How long have you played in that space? And why is it galloping so fast forward, this whole big data scene?
So it's interesting. With Aspera, we have been around for 7 to 8 years. I think if I count back calendar, it's about just over 7 years. And so we have been doing, we decided to essentially solve the problem that TCP doesn't, which is over a WAN where you have latency and packet loss. Your performance and your throughput is not actually a function of your bandwidth, it's actually a function of how far away you are from the recipient.
Basic geography.
Exactly.
Oh, basic physics.
Yeah, physics. Actually, physics, and there's one thing you can't yet get over, right? Einstein's theory is still true. So, you can't go faster than light. Maybe sometimes you can, but principally no. So for big data, the challenge is efficiency and speed, especially with all the power that we get in cloud computing now. And so Aspera solved that problem with a patented protocol. It's a layer 7 application. We get stuff over the WAN at line speed, irrespective of distance and packet loss. So that means all of this large content can now get efficiently over a network that our companies have invested in.
So who would be a typical customer, Bhavik? Who's coming and standing in line and who's been, relieved to say, at last, you've solved the very problem set that we were dealing with?
So fantastic question. So as we've been around for 7 years, this big data, which has only really been coined in the last couple of years, really was a problem for media and entertainment, life sciences, governments, for quite a long time. They've been dealing with... So if you think about the digital revolution, everything we watch now is digital, everything we download from a movie perspective, a media perspective. But these 3D movies can be 1 to 2 terabytes in size. They're produced every day. You've got a $500 million production cycle. Every day, these computers are going to render a new version of, let's say Toy Story 4, right? That has to be edited, reviewed, moved around the world. And so that's what these companies have struggled with. And so we've solved this problem for them over the last 7 years. And now what we find is the whole enterprise is moving to this unstructured data problem. So PDFs, image files, rich media becomes a ubiquitous part of our lives. So getting access to it in a timely fashion is really what the emerging problem is for the classic enterprise.
So you're actually pretty much at a sweet spot here moving forward for the next 10, 15 years. Nothing is getting smaller.
That's absolutely correct. So it's very interesting for us to be able to say we've already solved this problem, and now we find that the enterprise is having this problem that we've actually solved and have a mature product for, and can do this really at line rate. So we sell products that go from a few megabits per second over the WAN to 10 gigabits per second today. So we work with the biggest storage vendors. We actually have a new product for Amazon S3 where we can get up to about 700 megabits per second in and out of S3, irrespective of where you are. You just need the bandwidth. If you buy the bandwidth, you can get access to it.
Big data in and out of the cloud. It does sound almost too good to be true, doesn't it? But how are you getting the word out? Obviously something like this, something like Cloud Expo, like an interview like this, like speaking engagements. What else are you thinking? What tricks are you getting up to get the Aspera name out there?
It's very interesting. So we're fortunate. We're coming from a position where we have over 1,200 customers today. We work with some of the largest sort of big data, the sort of the media, life sciences, big data producers. They're all now looking at the cloud as their next avenue for infrastructure investment and spending. Actually, not investment, spending. And so we're helping them and guiding them on ways that they can actually leverage this infrastructure. This on-demand compute becomes a key thing as we look out into the future. And so to leverage really on-demand compute, you have to get stuff there quickly and get it back again, and then turn it off, right? That's the whole advantage of the cloud. And that speed is what we find. So we're going to our existing customer base, and what we're finding though is with events like this, with what companies like what Amazon is doing and Microsoft and the large IT vendors, they're all solving the problem. But the next question is build it and they will come. And hopefully we're saying, well, now you can get get there in and out really fast. It's not a question of if and how, it's a question of when you're ready to move your data, right? And that's what we do.
So if you are ready to move your data, or if you think you're going to be, you ought to go to asperasoft.com and take it from there, I guess.
Yes, please do. Yep, www.asperasoft.com.
Thanks so much, Bhavik, for speaking with us. Bhavik Vyas from Aspera, and thank you for joining us out there on the World Wide Web.